Good morning, evening, or afternoon, depending on what part of the globe you're on and what time zone you are in. You found us on TikTok and YouTube. You can also find us on Twitter. You can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Threads, Discord, Substack, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, all of the socials. Where you are, shall we be in the midst of you? Anyway, moving on. So yeah, Trump has finally come out and embraced Project 2025. And please, if you could, keep tapping that screen. I'd appreciate it. Also, please send in your heart me's. We'd love to have your heart me's. I want your heart. Yeah, join the Skeptics team. For the price of a TikTok coin, you can be a skeptic too. We'd love to have you. We also have our own TikTok chat. If you're in the United States, unfortunately, it doesn't let me open it up to people from other countries, which I think is absolutely asinine and stupid. And they haven't corrected it yet, as far as I'm concerned, as far as I am aware, as far as I know. So please join us, become a skeptic. We'd love to have you. Bless you. I'm glad I have somebody's heart. Yes. Thank you for joining the team. I appreciate that. We got 3 heart me's. All right. Or, oh no, that's superfans. Okay. Interesting. I'm finding out new things. Okay. Let's see how many populars we can get. I guess 3? 3 gifters send super populars to this live. Okay, 15 minutes. Let's see if we can get 3 populars. Am I popular yet? No, I'm not. But that's okay. We're going to keep on going. So Trump has embraced Project 2025. Remember what he said. I'm going to pull it up because I tell you what, I love receipts. I love receipts. And let's see. Nope, that's the wrong one. Here's Trump saying, "Oh, I don't know. I don't know about Project 2025. Never heard of it. Never heard of it. And I don't agree with everything they say." Here's Trump's denial. "I know nothing about Project 2025. I have no idea who they are, and I disagree with some of the things they are saying, and some of the things they are saying are absolutely ridiculous. And anyway, anything they do, I wish them luck. I have nothing to do with them." If they're so ridiculous and weird, why are you wishing them well, is my question. Why are you wishing Project 2025 well? You'll notice that he also said the same thing about Ghislaine Maxwell, Jeffrey Epstein's abuse provider. Yeah, he said, "Well, I wish her well. I don't know her, but I wish her well." Now, this is Trump's acceptance or embracing of 2025. "I have a meeting today with Russ Vought, he of Project 2025 fame, to determine which of the many Democrat agencies, most of which are political scam, he recommends to be cut, and whether or not those cut will be temporary or permanent. I can't believe the radical left Democrats gave me this unprecedented opportunity. They are not stupid people, so maybe this is their way of wanting to quietly and quickly make America great again. President Donald J. Trump." And we know Donald J. Trump did not. Thank you. We reached the goal. I appreciate that. Of course, we know that Donald J. Trump, well, how should I say this? We know that he knew about it, and we know that he didn't write this. I don't think he wrote this. This is too well structured for his writing style and for his educational level. I mean, he writes on par of a 5th grader, to be honest. But yeah, anywho, that's what we got going on. So yeah, we've got him, we've got Project 2025. Let's see what else.
Thank.
Oh, remember the rapist Robert Morris? Let's hear.
Thank you, Jesus, for
The man who once led one of the largest congregations in America.
Today, walking into an Oklahoma courthouse, pleading guilty to sexually abusing an underage girl.
This has taken my entire lifetime to get here.
That girl was Cindy Clemishire, now 55, inside the courtroom delivering a message to her abuser through tears, as Gateway Church founder Robert Morris admitted to 5 felony counts of lewd or indecent acts with a child in the 80s.
People need to know who he is, that he came into our home as a pedophile, disguised as a preacher.
The abuse began on Christmas night in 1982, Cindy says, when she was 12 and Morris 21. It continued for years. A secret Cindy kept until 1987, when she told her parents and church leaders, and for the first time last year, shared publicly.
He started by touching my breast and putting his hands in my pants.
Decades passed. Morris grew into an evangelical powerhouse, even
For TikTok and YouTube purposes, we do not condone the actions taken or the subject matter that is being talked about. This is for educational purposes only.
serving on President Trump's Spiritual Advisory Council, at times alluding to past transgressions in his sermons.
Sexual temptation is an appetite of the flesh, and I developed an appetite before I was saved.
His sins that NBC News reported on last year, now officially crimes. Morris handed a 10-year sentence, though he will only serve 6 months in a county jail as part of the negotiated plea deal. He will also have to register as a sex offender and pay $250,000 in restitution.
There is hope to come out of shame and to be whole again.
Right. 6 months in jail for an entire series of child endangerment, child abuse, and child what have you. 6 months. They want to put people that burn a flag. They want to take people who burn a flag a year in jail. People who get busted for elevated products get more jail time than that. What in the entire goddamn fuck? What is this? I tell you what, this child abuser had help. Morris, his wife and the Gateway staff covered up the abuse claims for years. So this woman who's now in her 50s tried telling authorities, tried telling the church, this guy is no good. This guy, you got to get rid of him. He's abused me. He's done this. He's done that. And she tried. She tried warning them, and what did they do? They covered it up, as a church does, because that's what they do. Please keep tapping that screen. I appreciate you. But yeah, we're going to see more and more of this. This is absolutely asinine and ridiculous. Morris, a God-fearing man of the cloth, man of the church, man of the people. Unfucking real. Really? Really? This is what it comes down to. And I mean, this is par for the course. This is what churches do. They cover it up. They cover up abuse of children. And is it any wonder? Is it any wonder that he ends up on Donald Trump's advisory board? It's almost as if to get into the Trump administration, you have to be guilty of something heinous, something disgusting, something despicable. It's almost a rite of passage. I just, my God. It's just unbelievable. And and there are people still convinced to this day that if you are religious, if you're religious leaning, that you are more moral than people who don't have any religion at all. I literally heard this on a live. Thank you for sharing it. I appreciate it. Yes, please. I need to share this out. Ugh, goodness. Got to share this out on Discord. All the rooms, please. Thank you. I appreciate that. But what do we come to? What have we come to? You know? It's... we got to be better than this. And there definitely needs to be higher, I mean, there needs to be more jail time. There needs to be higher punishments, more severe punishments for people that abuse children. It's not that hard. And the reason they're not going to do it is because so many Republicans are actively right now trying to lower the age of consent. It's not in their best interests. The lawmakers in Congress, the Republicans are trying to lower I know they're doing it statewide in states like Tennessee, Arkansas, Louisiana, Mississippi, all of those places. They're trying to lower the age of consent. And the reason they're doing that is because they don't want their favorite demographic interfered with, if you understand what I'm saying. Pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. What else do we have? We've got outrage about Paramount. I don't really care about Paramount right now. Let's see. We've got the universities we talked about. Oh, Japan. Did you hear about Japan? They've got a new leader who may become, she hasn't been elected yet, she may become the first female prime minister. That is, if Japan can let go of their patriarchal, misogynistic holdings and leanings. But I just hope she doesn't end up like the president of Italy. Boy, she's turned out to be a real mess. I mean, she's literally supported by the right-wing fascist party in Italy right now. So Japan's governing party on Saturday elected former economic security minister Sanae Takaichi, a hardline ultra-conservative and China hawk, as its new leader, making her likely to become the country's first female prime minister. Now, China hawk doesn't bother me as much as ultra-conservative does. In a country that ranks poorly international for gender equality, the 64-year-old Takaichi makes history as the first female leader of Japan's long-governing conservative liberal Democratic Party. Okay, so I don't know how much of this is a misunderstanding of Japanese politics. This is from the Associated Press, so we'd like to think that they have a handle on this, and I'm not an expert at all. When I hear the word ultra conservative, I just flinch. I come from that world. I come from that, and I don't want any country going that route ever. It has not done this country any good, and it's certainly not doing Japan. It won't do Japan any good. So she's a protege of former Japanese Prime Minister Shinzo Abe, the ultra-conservative vision and a regular at Tasukuni Shrine, seen as a symbol of Japan's wartime militarism. Oh, God. Which could complicate Tokyo's relationship with its Asian neighbors. What a way to get gender equality. Go right into fascism. God damn it. Takaichi replaces Prime Minister Shigeru Ishiba is the party hopes of regaining public support and stay in power after major election losses. Okay, that doesn't bode well. So it's a political party in decline, from what I'm understanding. She's likely to be Japan's next prime minister because the party remains by far the largest in the lower house, which determine the national leader, and because opposition groups are highly splintered. There you go. See, people who advocate for more political parties don't understand that the more political parties you have, the more easier it is for fascist leaning parties to take over. Anybody who's studied German history, when you play back the history of how the Schmittler mustache man got elected in the first place, it was because of so many political parties and how many deals the Socialist Party, which they rebranded and renamed the Schnazis. There was nothing socialist about that fascist party to begin with. It was nationalistic to the hilt. And that's how Hitler got into power. is by making deals with other political parties for support if they should lose. So people say, we need more, we need better parties. It's like more does not always mean you're going to have a better outcome. You know? More does not mean better. And I wish we would understand that. She has vowed to strengthen the Japanese-U.S. alliance. That's good and bad. I mean, what is the U.S. alliance as of today? That's Donald Trump and MAGA. Let's say she said she will immediately work on stemming rising prices while focusing on diplomatic and security challenges. A parliamentary vote is expected mid-October, so watch the space. This election is going to happen in mid-October in Japan. Dakachi needs to hurry because the winner will soon face a diplomatic test, a possible summit with U.S. President Trump, who could demand that Japan increase its defense spending. Well, yes and no. A meeting is reportedly being planned for late October. Trump will travel to the Asia-Pacific Economic Cooperation Summit in South Korea starting October 31st, if he can stay awake for the meeting, that is. It is essential to confirm the reinforcement of the Japan-U.S. alliance, she said. She stressed the importance of the cooperation through three-way frameworks that could include regional partners such as South Korea, Australia, the Philippines, pledging Japan's greater role in achieving a free and open Indo-Pacific. Well, yes. I mean, on paper, I guess that's good. She said she respects all tariffs and investment agreements struck between Tokyo and Washington under the Ishiba government. The LDP, whose consecutive losses in parliamentary elections in the past year have left in the minority in both houses, needs its new leader to quickly bring back voter confidence and stability and to address challenges in and outside Japan. Takahashi will also need cooperation from key opposition groups to implement her party's policies. So that's part of the good thing about multiple parties is you need cooperation through your governance. But the problem is, as with in Germany in the 1930s, the way Schmittler consolidated power was he basically made it against the law to oppose him. He used wartime powers. He used, I guess you could call it executive orders to say, I need to be full dictator of this country because we're being attacked from within and we're at war with these people that are trying to topple our government. And he used that as an excuse for full domination of Germany. So I know that there was a country that just tried it and they kicked him out. I think Korea, they tried doing that. And the president, the Supreme Court just down the line, boom, 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 started putting them all in jail, which, hello, that's what we need to have done in this country. My God, what are we waiting for? Oh, that's right. Elections have consequences. This is what happens when we vote in favor of fascism. When we Democrats decide to sit back and withhold our vote because we didn't like the candidate or the candidate didn't speak directly to our issues or they didn't say the magic words, and so therefore we're going to withhold our vote. We're going to punish, or get this, we're going to vote third party, thus making it so that Donald Trump gets in. So, anyway, real quickly, I'll be right back. Okay, I hope that lowers the noise level. Anyway, moving on. So Saturday's vote only involved 294 DPD parliamentaries, about 1 million dues-paying members, blah, blah, blah. The LDP also needs help. It needs help from the opposition, which it has long neglected. The party will likely look to expand its current coalition with the moderate centrists, the Komeito, or centrist Komeito, with at least one of the key opposition parties which are more centrist. God, Okay, so it looks like she's really, really, really right wing. I mean, if she's looking for centrists for support, uh, I'd like to read the rest of this article, please. Can you please scroll down? No, you don't want. You don't want to. You've had enough of me. Won't even let me refresh. Okay. Anyway, that's what's happening in Japan. So, yeah, wild, wild times we're having. Let's see, what else can we discuss? Oh, this was the cartoon that I shared on YouTube. So if you are on the Red app, you can see what I'm sharing on my screen on YouTube. So it's two guys in a boat. One guy gets up and pews the bottom of the boat. And the one guy on the end of the rowboat says, "What are you doing?" And he says, "I'm sinking your libtard boat." "We're both in the boat, you idiot." "Oh, now you're triggered. You're so triggered right now." "So go cry about it. You have boat derangement syndrome. It's just a joke." And it just shows them sinking into the water. Perfect encapsulation of what's happening right now in this country. Right now. We have a group of people, a bunch of morons, who think they're hurting liberals when actually they are literally hurting themselves. Literally hurting themselves. And what a shame. Hurting themselves, hurting their family members, hurting their neighbors, even people they like. You know, it's just so strange to me. Let's see. Okay, so now, yeah, it doesn't, yeah, it's, the article's gone, so I'm just going to move on. So yeah, that's what's happening in Japan. So look in Japan. This is happening. Voting is going to be mid-October, so we'll see. I do not want ultra-right conservatives governing any country. I mean, we see the damage that they've done here, haven't we? We see it. We see what they're doing. We see their policies go nowhere. Okay, one of the things she supports is bigger fiscal spending for growth, stronger military, cybersecurity, okay, as well as tougher regulations on increasing foreign tourists and laborers. Tourists, I get. I understand wanting to limit the amount of tourists they get in, because some of the tourists, even from this country, have been absolute ass. The tourism from this country is garbage. You know, the entitlement, the this, I want that, or just they don't even bother getting to know the country in which they're in. You know, they demand this and that, and have you seen Israeli tourists in other countries? Oh my God, I thought Americans were bad. They're 10 times worse. They're just, man, they get bent out of shape and they throw a hissy fit. It's like, God damn. And if you dare say anything against Israel, oh man, they go ballistic. Because they're taught as young children that they are better than anybody else. They're taught that they are the supreme race and everybody else is just goyim, there to serve them. That is how Israelis teach their children. And it's amazing to me because they always say that the Schmalistinians are the ones who teach their kids to hate Israel, when it's the other way around. Always accuse the opposition of what you yourself are doing. That's interesting. All right, moving on. So people have expressed concern over her past nationalist comments. I hope that she'll develop a stronger sense of balance when she becomes prime minister. No, they said the same thing about Donald Trump. Don't you get it, people? They said the same thing about Donald Trump. Maybe he'll mellow out. Once he gets in office, he'll get with the program. He's not going to be as crazy as he sounds. What happened? We had the first administration, and now we're in the second administration. What have we learned? What has Donald Trump learned? What we have learned is that Donald Trump is incapable of learning anything. Fucking hell. Okay. Let's see. Oh, remember what I said about accusing the other side of doing what the other side is doing? Here's a perfect example. Trump criticized Obama for writing 147 executive orders in one term. Then he wrote 220 executive orders. Trump criticized Obama for playing 113 rounds of golf in one term. Then he played 428. Trump criticized Obama when 12,000 died from H1N1. Almost 1 million died from COVID under his watch. Trump criticized Obama for his expensive family vacations. Then Trump spent almost as much in a month as Obama spent in an entire year. Trump criticized or called Obama the most ignorant president in history. In POTUS rankings, though, Obama has never ranked lower than 15th from the top. Trump's never ranked higher than 4th from the bottom. Okay. All right. So TikTok is going to stop and go. All right. Sorry about the throttling. That's TikTok doing it, not me. I'm doing it from my phone this time. I was hoping it would stop that. Anyway, moving right along. So again, yeah, Trump accuses Obama of doing the very thing he himself did and much worse. Much worse. Here's another one, a media fail. If you want to know why people don't trust mainstream media anymore, it's because none of them have concerned or have covered the fact that 300 ICE agents rappelled out of Black Hawk helicopters onto an apartment building in Chicago and dragged everyone, including children, out on the street in their underwear and zip-tied them until 3 a.m. This happened in the United States of America. These motherfuckers are trying to start a race war. They want a war so bad. And what I'm hearing from the black community is we're not taking the bait. You're not going to get us to come outside and protest your asses because we know what you're trying to do. I'll tell you what, the black community has shown more wisdom than we have shown ever. Isn't that amazing? They see the problem. They see the tactics. They've gone through it. They saw what happened. Whenever they come to protest, the Black Lives Matter protests, the George Floyd protests, what did police officers do? They came out in force. They came out and busted and cracked skulls. They instigated violence. That is what the police did to black protesters who were protesting peacefully, by the way. And so this is why they're going to Portland. They went to Chicago, and now they're already there in Portland, trying to start a war there. And we cannot give them an excuse. We cannot give them an excuse for martial law. We cannot. But these pieces of shit. Pieces of shit. Let's see this one. Oh, these are headlines covering what's been happening. Feds marched in downtown Chicago. Top border agent says people are arrested based partly on how they look. Chicago Sun-Times. The New Republic. ICE zip ties children in horrific raid on Chicago apartment building. CBS Chicago. Pepper ball fired at CBS Chicago reporter, part of incidents involving media outside Broadview ICE facility. Bronzeville homeless shelter residents traumatized after feds chase and arrest 4 people. They want us to be at war so bad. They want a war. This is what they're trying. This is what they're trying for. This is what they want to get. And we cannot give it to them.
So I finished talking to my sister in this fucking feeling. She actually lives in Chicago. She verified that ICE went into a black neighborhood in the south side of Chicago and decided to start arresting black Americans. And the only reason why they're arresting black Americans in Chicago is because they want us to come outside. They want the black community to come outside. And guess what? We're not coming outside. They only held them for a few hours and then let them go, treating them like shit in the process. But they only did that because they want us outside, especially in Chicago. They want the Chicago black people outside so that they can have an excuse to send the National Guard at them. But guess what? We are not going outside. We in the house. We know exactly what you motherfuckers are trying to do. There was no reason to arrest black Americans that were born here. Yeah, y'all want us outside and we ain't going. It don't matter what the fuck you do. We not going outside because we know exactly what would happen if we do. Y'all need civil unrest to complete Project 2025. That's the last key. And the black community will not be the one to give it to you. We not opening that door for you. We not going outside. It doesn't matter what you do.
They came down to that apartment complex in Chicago in Black Hawk helicopters. A residential apartment. And they're just detaining people because they're black now? Yeah, so a bunch of fucking protests have broken out in Chicago. Last night there was an emergency protest and it is still going strong this morning. Please go follow Rachel Cohen for more updates. She is down there right now filming what's going on. This is Gestapo shit. But like Call of Duty style Gestapo. You can't just go into people's apartments and pull them out in the middle of the fucking night to racially profile people. We have the most militarized police force on the fucking planet arresting our own citizens for their race. If you can't see the parallels between ICE and the Gestapo and what's happening right now and 1940s Germany, you need to read a fucking book.
Yeah, and she's right. These thugs, they want a race war so bad. They're yearning for it. All they need is an excuse. And I have to hand it for the black. I have to hand it to the black community for keeping their cool and not taking the bait.
So last week, two FBI agents showed up at my door and had some questions about things that I've posted on social media. They were investigating domestic terrorism, I believe. Shout out to my agents. I am so honored that you watch my content. Like, next time, please give me a heads up or something so I can make you some tea or coffee. And I hope you're watching this video because I do have an important question for you at the end. My two federal agents were very concerned with this video that I made calling on organizers to organize better. They were highly concerned that I had shared addresses of weapon manufacturers in this country, and they wanted to know why I had done that and what were my intentions with sharing that video. And essentially tried to accuse me of inciting violence. And I just want to make it abundantly clear publicly that I did not and do not call for violence against individuals or property that you care so much about. With that said, this is a perfect opportunity to remind everyone, especially you federal agents, of the Leahy Law. What is the Leahy Law, you may ask? Well, let's read it directly from the U.S. Department of State's website. The term Leahy Law refers to two statutory provisions prohibiting the U.S. government from using funds for assistance to units of foreign security forces where there is credible information implicating that unit in the commission of gross violation of human rights. Let's translate that into plain English. The U.S. government is forbidden from selling weapons to or funding a foreign entity that is violating human rights. Our government is breaking its own law just to support this foreign entity in the Middle East that has been violating international law for decades and has now committed probably every single war crime in the book. And this is not me saying it. This is Amnesty International. This is the UN Council for Human Rights. This is the International Association of Genocide Scholars. Even this country's own human rights organizations came out and said that this is a genocide. Which brings me back to this video. Now, I understand that I left things open for interpretation and I didn't provide specific examples. And yes, people may have taken it as a call for violence, but there are so many things that citizens can do that do not break the law. For example, protesting on a Monday or any weekday, any other day but Saturday or Sunday. People can block roads or organize sit-ins at these specific locations to prevent the flow of weapons being sent to the Middle East. None of these things require violence. Now, my question to you, federal agents, and I really hope you're watching again so that you can answer this question. Like seriously, if you could DM me, text me, or even just show up at my door again, just so we can be on the same page on this, it will be super helpful. My question to you is this. If citizens chose to enforce this law, take it upon themselves to enforce the Leahy law, because the government clearly isn't doing it, would that count as domestic terrorism or patriotism? I'll let you chew on that.
I mean, yeah. What an interesting thought. Would it count as patriotism or would it count as domestic terrorism to enforce the laws we have on the books? That's interesting. That's an interesting concept. So a bunch of federal thugs showed up at this black woman's door and questioned her about some of her problematic posts. And so she said, you can look at them. I advocated no violence. I advocated for peaceful assembly and protests. What is your problem? Oh, well, yeah. So anyway, so they didn't have anything really to go on, did they? Let's go. Oh, yeah, this is the arrest. ICE arrests elected official just for questioning them. Straight out of Hitler's playbook.
You were going to be placed under arrest.
Do you have a signed judicial warrant for him?
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me, please?
Judicial warrant for him.
Can somebody go in the hallway and get Lisa for me? This is an older person who's being under arrest. I need my other staffer who's...
You have a signed judicial warrant. I am asking. Do you have a signed judicial warrant for him? It is a question, sir. You are an agent. You are a federal agent.
We do not need a
You are a
warrant for
federal
somebody
agent.
under
I am
arrest.
an elected official and I am asking.
Did you hear what they just said? We do not need a warrant for somebody under arrest. Well, why are they under arrest? You can't just grab people off the street. That is definitely Gestapo shit right there.
Remember when Joy Reid asked that question, why are they still mad? Why are the white people still mad? You know, you got everything you wanted. You got the presidency, you got the government, you got the end of DEI, you got ICE, you got more prisons, you got a wall built, you got the immigrants, you got a fucking concentration camp, bitch. Like, y'all got everything you wanted, right? Because we know that white people are savages, so the things that they desire are like, you know, sex, drugs, murder, trafficking. Like, that's what gets them going, right? Death, you know? So we're giving you all the things. And why are you still not happy, is what she asked. And I don't think the question is, why are you white people not happy? I think their question that fucks with them daily, and it racks their brain, and they can't get around it. Their question is, how are the slaves happy? We took everything from you guys. We took everything from you. We took your name, your heritage, your food, your religion, your self-esteem. We took the love that you could possibly have in your own skin. We took your families. We stripped you of everything. We stripped you of your purpose, your dignity. We stripped you of your humanity. We stripped you of everything. We ripped the babies out of your stomachs and fed them to animals. Like, we literally tortured you guys. We stripped you of everything. How are you still happy? And What shall I say first? Because white people are not God, you can take physical things from people all day long, but you can't take someone's soul. So and we are human beings. We're not glorified pets. We're not 3/5 of a person or anything like that. We are human. You don't have to acknowledge it, but you guys aren't the only people in the world. So, you know, Chinese people know we're human. So, you know what I mean? It's just you guys that don't, like, you don't have the connections. So, we are human. So when you take every earthly thing away from a human being, the only thing they have left is their soul. And because you're not God, like you say you are, because you're not God, you couldn't take our soul. And so we went deep into our soul. We nurtured our soul. We protected our soul. We laughed from our soul. We danced from our soul. We sang from our soul. We learned, we invented, we created from our soul, because that's all we had. The only connection that everybody in this world has to each other is our soul. So when we create from our soul, whether it be violent, whether it be sexual, whether it be funny, whether it be uplifting, whether it be whatever we create it from our soul. And that's why it's so influential throughout the world, because everybody can relate to it, to us, to who we are, because we only speak with our soul. Now, what is the one thing that we all know white people don't have? A soul. Why? Because you did what the fucking Bible told you not to do. You gained the whole world for the price of your soul. You guys gained the whole world. Money, land, influence, you know? You have the most powerful country in the world. You're the center of the world. You gain the whole world for the price of your soul. You guys don't have a soul. You don't have a connection. You don't have culture. You don't have community. You don't have a sense of personhood. You don't know who you are. You don't like your family. You gained the whole world. You and your lineage gained the whole world for the price of your soul. And now you're praying to a God that don't give a fuck about you because you did everything he told you not to do. So, like, that's why the Jesus thing is, well, I'm not gonna say that's fake, but, like, you know, that's why all they have to connect to each other is not culture. It's this like Christianity thing. You know, all the Christians, the whites are coming out, because that's all they have is like this outside religion. They don't have any like personal connection to each other. Like, what are you guys? What are you guys? You guys are soulless creatures roaming the earth, looking for the next people to subjugate. And right now, it's interesting because you guys want soul so bad. You want soul so bad, but you don't understand that that's the price that you paid. That's the price that you paid, and you'll never get it. So you'll never be happy because you'll never have a connection. You'll never know who you are. And while you were putting everybody else in bondage, why are you putting everybody else in slavery? You enslaved yourselves into this soulless, vampire-like existence, and you are bound to it until all of you are breeded out. And that's why a lot of the white women want to breed with the black men, because you just get a little bit of soul, you know what I mean?